Well, the day seems to be almost here. Andretti is rumored to get a final approval to join F1 from the FIA, but not get approval from F1 to join the Concord Agreement, which means drama, basically.
So much drama.
Right. And that means it's the perfect opportunity to bring back a segment that we haven't been able to do for a while now.
Just like both Briana and Nicole are playing characters here, and I don't think they should be taken too seriously as their own arguments or point of view.
Welcome to the F1 Ring! You could be anywhere in the world today, but you are here at the Grid Walk Arena, and for that, we thank you. We believe that this is going to be a particularly juicy battle for you. We have two groups vying for power as the FIA and F1 are getting to the end of their dispute over potential new teams joining the Formula One grid. We present to you today at the F1 Ring all interested parties ready to duke it out. Each relevant party will get introductions and the opportunity for an opening statement. No punches will be pulled. In the first corner, the FIA. According to the FIA's own website, it's their responsibility to provide safe, sustainable, and accessible motorsports, pausing for laughter, across the many series that they steward. Despite frequently failing to provide a safe environment, they've decided to make a power play by opening the process to add new teams to the F1 grid against the wishes of their partners, both F1 management and the F1 teams. Reminder, the FIA makes a flat fee for every driver and team added to the sport. More teams means more money for the FIA, no matter the product on track. Additional reminder, earlier this year, the FIA president was told to shut up and go away because he couldn't stop being sexist or discriminatory against most people. There should probably be more disclaimers and reminders for this introduction, but okay, FIA, you can make your opening statements now.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, people here listening to Gridwalker and Walkers or whatever you like to call yourselves. We are the FIA. We are here to ensure the proper regulatory occurrences of all motorsports, but we just seem to really love paying extra special attention to Formula One, as everyone suddenly seems to be doing. So we're trying to do this for the fans. We're thinking about everyone trying to enjoy this, all of motorsports, not just Formula One. But we're gonna really just be focusing on Formula One because we're just really good at doing that and ignoring everywhere else. But don't we think F1 fans would like more drivers, a new engine manufacturer? We're just growing everywhere, so much growing that you just need more. I think it would just be a wonderful addition of having an American name like Andretti back in the sport, back on the grid, for all of those American F1 fans that are recent additions to our fan base. Everything that we are doing is to create more entertainment and more excitement because we want to help out and not just give technical directives, even though this is our entire job to make things safer. We want to have fun and make it entertaining! So this is for you.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for sending a representative instead of, some of your leadership. In the opposing corner, we have Formula One management. The team put in place by the owners of the media rights to Formula One, Liberty Media. Their responsibility is to increase the financial value of F1 by increasing its overall popularity. They gave us races such as Miami and Las Vegas to mixed reviews. Notably, they did implement a social media strategy that finally made their drivers celebrities and did sign off on Drive to Survive, which most definitely increased the popularity of the sport around the world. Their most recent knockout punch in the F1 ring was successfully recruiting Andretti to join Formula One as an engine manufacturer in 2026. Recently, Liberty Media has made headlines for saying that Red Bull dominance has slowed the growth of the sport, and that gave everyone a lot of opinions and feelings. This is also a topic that the Gridwalk Duo will be getting more into in upcoming podcasts and videos, so you should subscribe to us on YouTube. All right, Formula One management, your opening statements.
I'm not even gonna say hello because I immediately have to jump in and say the FIA's job is to not focus on entertainment. That is my job. My job over here is to focus on entertainment, excitement, making it fun and interesting for fans. Meanwhile, you should be making sure that it's safe and regulated correctly, which you're already not doing. So stay out of my lane, please and thank you. I don't know how many times we need to send you a letter about this, but maybe we'll send you another one. So let's put in some regulations. Great, you released a new technical directive. Things are less flexible, blah, 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 blah. That already seems like it's not going to affect your one team dominating on track, thus making my job a heck of a lot harder. So you're going to introduce another team coming in, joining. You think Andretti's going to be competing right behind Red Bull? I don't think so. Show the stats, show that this will work, and don't just say, it's going to be entertaining. That's my job, and I don't see it. Also, GM isn't making the engine, not a new engine manufacturer, so shut up about GM and Cadillac being a part of this deal.
Both of our challengers today have brought some supporters. We will start with an FIA supporter. Though it might be hard to follow that up. So let's talk about the newly named Andretti Global. Led by 1991 IndyCar champion Michael Andretti and his father Mario, the 78 F1 world champion and four-time IndyCar champ. Definitely some racing royalty here. Just this month, Andretti Automotive rebranded to Andretti Global, kind of hinting to all of us that this F1 ring here might be coming soon. There are already participants in multiple other single-seater series, such as IndyCar and Formula E, and they set their sights on joining F1 as soon as it became more popular and profitable in the United States. After failing to impress F1 and to letting them buy an existing team on the grid, Andretti have partnered up with General Motors for a flashy, glorified sponsorship deal, partnering with the FIA as a bid to become the 11th team on the grid. Andretti, your opening statements in support of being allowed to race in F1.
Hello, I am a representative of the Andretti family and Andretti Global. Thank you so much for having us here and inviting us to be part of the discussion. It really just shows how much everyone really wants us here and definitely really feels that we deserve to be continuing to grow our presence within motorsports. Now, there's a lot of speculation, and I'm not going to say that our entire rebrand from Andretti Automotive to Andretti Global was to maybe have a more appealing name when we're on a global platform like Formula One, but I'm not saying it's not because of that. We have an incredibly passionate family that, as the announcer has stated, is motorsports racing royalty. And this organization is coming in with partnerships of other incredible automotive royalty like General Motors and Cadillac, which we clearly have heard everyone is very excited about. And with this continued, unbelievable, seeing absolutely no slowdown in interest at all, still growing, unbelievably explosive American fan base, you want another, not trying to ignore Haas here, really powerful American-based team in Formula One, because America! Also, we will give you more drivers, which everyone wants, and everyone would be really happy about, because more drivers just means more, and more is always good, and definitely has nothing to do with slower cars or slower drivers or underperforming absolutely anything on the grid. More is more, and more means more money, and more just means good, and just more money, and not ignoring that adding another team would just cut prize money down, because we're not talking about that money. We're talking about big money. Thanks! Can't wait to see you on the grid. I mean, next time.
The FIA has also brought a second supporter group to the ring today. The Alpine Formula One Team, which is also the Renault engine manufacturer. They really like rebranding. Whatever you want to call them, that's who they're here today. Alpine may have just fired everyone in charge, but leadership, new and old, are fully backing the Andretti entry, and the FIA's ability to add new teams. They're the only current engine manufacturer on the grid without a single customer team. And so they're not only willing to provide engines to any new teams, they are required to. Alpine, who's ever in charge and could be here today, I guess the floor is yours.
Guys, this is like really embarrassing and we really need so much help. Ryan Reynolds is suddenly investing in us and we're so bad. We can't even get out of Q1. So please, we need more customers. We need data. We need help. So now we're just begging. We're not even here to make a statement. We are begging and begging and begging. We need help. Someone help us because we don't know what we're doing and no one works here anymore.
And last but not least, before we get this fight started, we have the supporters that Formula One brought, the 9 other Formula One teams. You all know them. You might not be used to them working together, but this is the other remaining teams. Join me in welcoming their spokesperson, who unfortunately had to listen to all 9 team principals and get their, I'm sure, very calm and rational opinions to be here today. You have the floor.
None of this makes any sense. There has been legitimately zero plans provided or any information provided as how this is going to make everyone more money. We are getting the same amount of money. It's the same pizza pie, but more people are invited to the birthday party, and they're not invited to our birthday party. We've been already told that there's the 10 people at the birthday party. Now suddenly this 11th new kid's gonna come in, and we have the same amount of pizza? That's not going to work. And I just... If Toto Wolff and Christian Horner can be on the same side about something, then like maybe everyone needs to take like a cold deep breath and listen, because that means that pigs are flying and something terrifying is happening if we can get these two men to agree on one thing. We are finally making money in this sport in a way that we've never seen before, so let's try and figure out a way to keep that in, and if that is by having this American team to help us with this still flourishing American fan base, then show it to us. Show us the evidence, and then maybe we'll open it and have a conversation. Until that, the red rope is closed, it's sealed, you cannot come in, bye-bye, stay out of our birthday party.
Thank you for that. That is the end of our opening introductions and opening statements. Who's gonna come out of the ring successful? What type of punches will they throw? What will each party have to give up to win this battle? Find out next.
Obviously, we're gonna have to wait to see the resolution from this F1 ring battle. But this has come up because AMUS is reporting that the FIA are going to officially approve Andretti, which has been rumored for a while now. And the background to all of this is that everyone needs to approve a team. Just because the FIA has said a team's allowed to go race, in order to get the financial payout of that, they need to be part of the Concord Agreement, which is the agreement between all the F1 teams about how they're going to split the money. I admittedly fully believe that if the FIA approves Andretti, they're going to end up on the grid. I just am interested in the political capital they're going to have to give up and the physical financial capital Andretti is going to have to give up to F1 to make it happen. Because Europe has much stricter antitrust laws than America does. And I do think that F1 technically, if they really wanted to drag this out and go to court over it and do the whole thing, eventually they would be forced to let Andretti in. But ever since this was announced to begin with, that the FIA were looking for new teams, I just didn't understand the political play of it all. Because that's really what we're watching here. FIA versus FOM, and the FIA have decided the best use of their political capital is to strong-arm their most important partners into doing something they don't want to do. The whole thing confuses me.
Yeah, no, it feels like, what's the Kids Bop way of saying it? This feels like a big wiener swinging contest. It just feels it just feels like everyone's making statements and saying things. The FIA is we're gonna do this, and everyone else is okay, but there's so many other things that you need to consider or for that to work, and then they're just no, we're gonna do this. And obviously there's a lot that probably isn't publicized to the public about this is how it would work.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because but there should still be some to at least appease team principals from saying we don't have any information. So that's what really makes me believe that there's no information that's being provided as to how this would actually work besides just like more means more, which is like not true.
Yeah, and from a fan perspective, like I get it, another team, more drivers, yada yada yada. Like you and I have made it very clear. You can go back and listen to us talk about this every other time, where we're like, "Yay, more drivers to lose to Red Bull!" Like, so it's frustrating to me that the organization responsible for these financial, technical, and engine regulations, which are the three contributing factors, if you go back and listen to my rant from last week, that are contributing to the unheard of, unprecedented dominance that Red Bull is currently doing. Not that there isn't dominance in F1, but what we're experiencing right now is unprecedented. That's why it's record breaking.
Make it worse. Make it
Right,
worse.
Well, it's just like, I would like the FIA to focus on that. Like, the FIA, and I'm not saying they can't do multiple things at once, like work on the 2026 engine and technical regulations and strong arm F1 into adding more teams. Like, to me, this is all a money play. Like, there's a reason why in the introduction I wrote that the reminder that the way the FIA makes money is that they get a flat fee from every team and driver entered. The way FOM and the teams make money is based on media rights, and it's actually financially, F1 and the F1 teams are financially incentivized to have a better product on track, because the more people who are interested in F1, the more money they make. The FIA are just incentivized by having more teams and drivers there. So, like, I understand why we're at this impasse, but all of it just feels like a political misstep, and we're still talking about it 12 months later.
Yeah, and I definitely don't feel like it's going away at all. And to your point, if the FIA is able to do multiple things at once, I could name like a whole handful of things that would be incredibly much more important safety regulations and just, things in general that you could probably be focusing on first to make me less mad at you, but the FIA does not do that.
And this isn't a whole segment about F1 interest or anything like that. Like, we're going to do a ton on that. And there was the Liberty Media quotes this week where the CEO of Liberty Media came out and said, yeah, interest is stagnating because of dominance, which to me just read like facts.
Everyone is correct. This is
right. Like, that is correct. And he wasn't even passing judgment on it, really. Like he was saying, I kind of wish that it wasn't stagnating, like, which makes a lot of sense because he's financially invested in its growth. Mm-hmm. I think it can be both true that the nature of F1 is that there's going to be periods of dominance. It can also be true that that's not great. And it can also be true that this is an unprecedented version of that. It is. But I will always come back to, no matter, yes, I think it would be great if there were more drivers in F1. That would be cool. But I don't really care until you know what? It's a messenger problem. It's like, I think I'd be more excited about teams and additional drivers and things like that if it wasn't the FIA trying to strong arm everyone into it, because to your point, can you go fix all the things you're actually in charge of?
And if this was coming from FOM and Liberty Media, that it would be coming with a beautiful marketing campaign package of here's the message and the image and here are all of the things. So the fact that that's not coming, there's no push from that, it makes me scared. You can't, yeah.
And I'm always disgruntled when big sweeping changes are not coming jointly by both parties in charge.
Exactly.
So, yes, the cost cap didn't work out, in my opinion. I don't think it was a good idea. But it seemed very clearly that it was this joint initiative from the regulatory and the marketing business side of F1 that they are like, hey, could we make an effort to try to improve the sport? And they tried. And it didn't work out. But it came from both parties. It was relatively organized. Yes.
Everyone was agreeing on the good intentions, except for some that then did not agree to what they agreed on and broke the cost cap. And here we are with so many other things.
And magically, no one broke it. Yeah, we can't get into that. But yeah, I do think Andretti will be announced as a team. I'm excited to see how much financial capital they have to pay, and I'm excited to get a trickle out of what the FIA had to give up in order to get this success.
Time will tell. Thank you for listening to this highlight from episode 34 of Gridwalk. Don't forget to like and subscribe for a bunch more F1 videos and a ton of cool content. Also, you made it this far into this video. Why not just watch the rest of the podcast? You can click right here for the full thing. Ready? Click, click, click. Click right here. Click, 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 click.